Okay, Chapter 7, Day 2. What we're going to focus on today is how do we solve equations that have fractional exponents. So yesterday we worked on fractional exponents, simplifying fractional exponents, rewriting fractional exponents. Today we're going to solve equations. So let's take a look. Solving equations with fractional exponents. So the question might look like this. It might say solve for x. X raised to some sort of fractional exponent equals some number. Okay. So in order to undo this, we have to take the reciprocal power to undo the power on x. So, for example, if I had x squared equals some number, we remember that we would take the square root of it. Well, taking the square root is really undoing the operation, but we're going to take a look at it in the sense of a fractional exponent. Okay? So, what do? We take the reciprocal of the power to undo it. So we're going to raise both sides, raise it to the reciprocal of 2 over 3, which is raise it to the 3/2. We're taking the reciprocal power. So x to the 2/3, the reciprocal is 3/2. So now I have x, well, to the 2/3, to the raised to 2/3 raised to 3/2, exponent raised to an exponent, you multiply, and these would reduce to just x. 25 to the 3/2. Okay. Well, you might say, well, do I have to leave it like that or do I have to keep going? Keep going. Now we want to take 25 raised to 3/2. So what we worked on today was 25 to the 3/2. So x equals, I need my root. This is my power, this is my root. My root is 2. I don't have to write it. I can write it though. So I want the square root of 25. And then I'm going to take that and raise it to the power of 3. So x is going to equal 5. Square root of 25 is 5. Raised to the power of 3, which is going to equal 5 times 5 times 5 is 125. So, to recap, if you have an equation in which the variable is raised to a fractional exponent, you raise both sides to the reciprocal of that exponent. This will cancel out, leaving you x to the first power. This is whatever it turns out to be. If you wanted to double check, you could take 125, raise it to the 2/3 power in your calculator, and you'll see you get the answer of 25. All right, let's take a look at another one. 2 to the negative 3 minus 1 equals 15. Well, just like before, we're going to try to get this by itself. So I'm going to add 1. All right. 2a to the negative third equals 16. Now, without parentheses here, only the a is being raised to the negative exponent. So I need to divide by 2, trying to isolate the a. So a to the negative 3 is 8. So now, again, raise this to the reciprocal. So this would, I'm going to raise it to the negative 1/3. To the negative 1/3 power. What's the reciprocal of negative 3? Negative 1/3. So this turns into just a, and this turns into 8 to the negative 1/3. But I don't want to leave it like that. I know when I raise something to the negative exponent, it's the same as saying 1 over 8 to that exponent. So 1 over 8 to the 3rd. And now I can evaluate 8 to the 3rd as the cube root of 8. and the cube root of 8 is 2. So there's my answer. Again, what are we working on today? When I have some sort of exponent, I raise it to the reciprocal to undo the exponent. Okay. You know, some people ask in class, how did you know what the cube root of 8 was? Or how do you know what the, third root or 5 to the third power? There's common powers that we work with that you'll just know after a while. And so the only thing I want you to do is let's get down our common powers. These are the common ones that I want you to know for this class. So that way when you get 3 to the third, you know what it is, or 3 to the fourth. So just write down these common powers. 2 to the first, squared, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 3 to the first, squared, third, and fourth. 4 to the third, and then 5 all the way to the third. So get this down. We got to memorize and know our basic base to powers for some common powers. So if I say 2 to the fourth, you should be able to tell me 16. If I say 3 to the fourth, you should be able to say 81. So we need to know these right off the top of our head. As much as you know your squareds, we need to know the third powers for some, the fourth powers, and the fifth and sixth powers for some. You don't get asked 3 to the fifth, 4 to the fourth, and 5 to the fourth, not too often. So those aren't the common ones. I just want you to know these common ones. So get these down in your notes. When we come back to class, we're going to work on equations with fractional exponents in class. Okay? So get those powers down.